Don't let acronyms muddy your communication skills. Acronyms, in and of themselves, are not terrible. They just need to be used correctly. They certainly can be helpful when you're going to be repeating a phrase frequently and you don't want to have to say that long phrase every time you use that term. So, very simply, even if you're going to talk about corporate speech solutions, it's easier to say CSS. But I'm not going to say CSS until I define that acronym. So today, I'd like to share with you some tips so that you use acronyms correctly and there is no miscommunication in your meeting. Number one, be clear. I have even heard people use CEO and they'll say CO. So are we talking about Chief Executive Officer or Chief Operating Officer? Very simply, take your time and enunciate the letters that are in your acronym. Again, practice CEO versus COO. Do your homework. It's a little tricky with acronyms. Some of them, such as NASA, National Aeronautics and Space Administration, is pronounced as a word, NASA. We don't say NASA, we say NASA. However, FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, we don't make a word, we do say sound by sound. So be careful that you know exactly how to use that acronym. Again, do your homework. Always define your acronym before you use it. So for example, I founded Corporate Speech Solutions, CSS, in 2006. Now I can use the term CSS because all of you will know what I'm referring to. But if I just started to talk about CSS, yes, you see it behind me, but you might not put the two together. So always define your acronym unless you are 100% sure that your entire audience knows that acronym. So for example, I was working, doing a training at a pharmaceutical company a few years back. And we talked about how to use acronyms because as you know, in pharma, everything's acronyms. And when one of the individuals was doing his final presentation, he referred to the FDA and said Food and Drug Administration. Now, clearly, everyone in the group knew the FDA since they all worked at this same large pharma company, but he was practicing correct protocol to make sure that everyone in the audience knew that correct acronym. From then on, during his presentation, he can use it. So again, always be clear with your pronunciation of the acronym. Do your homework. Number two, do your homework to make sure whether it should be a word or letter by letter. And three, always define the acronym if you have any questions, if you are not 100% sure that your audience knows that acronym. If you would like more information about this topic, any of my video topics, or any of our services, please be sure to email or call any of the contact information below as we return all inquiries. I do like to encourage you, if you are going to call, be sure to leave a message. I cannot return your call if you do not leave a message. I wish you all the best, great success, stay safe, and stay healthy.